Hi, my name's Lauren and we're going to be painting this beautiful garden scene today. Let's get started. We need paintbrushes, a bunch of different colored paints. You can use whichever ones you'd like. And we are going to start by making our canvas a neutral color. I mixed up some purple with gray to sort of make this mauve color. You can kind of do whatever color you'd want as long as it's not too bright, since we are going to be painting bright colored flowers over top. So just choose sort of either like a gray or a purpley gray or even like a light pink or something like that to paint your canvas in. We are just going to dip our big brush into paint and into water. I recommend dipping it in the water first and then putting it in the paint. And you're going to cover your whole canvas like this. You probably only have to dip your brush in the water once to get it wet in order for this to work. But if you need to re-dip it, that's okay too, just as long as it's going on quite light. As you can see, I'm painting the sides of the canvas as well. Now we're going in with our green. So you're going to want to prep a bunch of different green paints before starting this portion. I'm just going in and I'm adding a bunch of different stems of flowers. You can make your stems kind of however you want. I'm just trying to give a bunch of different looks to mine. So some with big fluffy leaves and smaller ones and sort of filling in the top. And you want to probably 2 to 3 greens prepped for this point. I'm going in with a different color green now. The first green I went in with was sort of like a sage green, and this one is now sort of a brighter green that I'm going in and just adding more leaves and stems. Make sure you have some stems that are going a little bit longer down the canvas. And then I'm going in with my light green last and kind of filling in the top part. And I'm going to be adding more stems and kind of more green foliage over top. You can definitely layer the greens. Don't be afraid to put another stem over top of one green. And as you can see, I'm doing that right now. But yeah, it can be quite messy. This painting definitely doesn't require any precision, so you just want to go in and sort of add lots of greenery until you're happy with it. You can use multiple different greens as well if you want. Like I used 3 here, but you could use up to 5 if you wanted to add different textures of leaves and things like that in different colors. Okay, so now that's done. You really want to let your green dry really good before you go into the next portion, because we're going to be drawing the flowers. So at this point, it's a good idea to just kind of take a break and let your green dry as best as you can. Maybe just go get a coffee or look out the window or have a bathroom break or something like that. So now we're going to be starting our flowers. I want mine to be really colorful with lots of different colored flowers. And so I'm going to prep every color pretty much for that. Blues, oranges, reds, purples, pinks. I'm just going in now and I am making these big sort of blobby things with my paintbrush. I'm going to use pretty much the same paintbrush for all of this. And it doesn't have to be precise, like I said earlier. You just have to be happy with it. So go in and kind of make all these little dots. And yeah, now we're going to go in and I'm going to make 3 petals for this one. You could do 2 too. I'm going in and making 2 bigger petals for this flower, and I'm going in and adding a bunch throughout the painting. I would say aim for like 3 to 5 of each flower, depending on how much room you have. But as you can see, I'm just going in, same thing, not a lot of precision. It doesn't have to look super precise. We're going to go in and detail it later. We're really just getting kind of like the structure of the painting down first. So yeah, now I have my pink flowers, I have some purple flowers, and next I'm going to go in with these big orange, bright orange guys. You might have to go over the orange a couple of times if you're doing it directly over the green, but it seemed to work out for me okay after I put in the detailing. So don't be afraid to overlap your flowers, just make sure that the paint is dry if you don't want the paint to bleed into each other. So I'm going in and just adding these big fluffy flowers everywhere. Kind of make them almost as if they're like the shape of a cloud or something is sort of how I would describe it. And I'm happy with that. So now I'm going in with these blue flowers, and I've decided that for these ones I'm going to make them sort of wispy. So they're not dots like the purple ones or the pink ones. They're just kind of like brush strokes, light blue brush strokes, almost like kind of messy lines. And so I'm just going in and doing a couple of those and filling in sort of the top. There's no real rhyme or reason to where I'm placing the flowers. I'm just putting them kind of where I think they should go based off of the colors. I just kind of want some everywhere. And now I'm going in and making sort of like yellow daisies. So just kind of make 5 to 6 petals on each one. And I dipped the back of my paintbrush for this part in some light blue. And I'm just going in and making little light blue dots and light pink dots everywhere. This just adds a little bit of like little baby florals kind of, almost looking like baby's breath. Throughout the painting, I'm doing a lot kind of on the top, as you'll be able to see in a minute, just because the top doesn't have a lot of florals going on, so I just add quite a bit up there because I like the way it looks. Again, you don't have to do this, and you can add different flowers based off of your preference. You just don't have to get super precise with it, which is what the fun part of this painting is. It'll kind of look good no matter what you do. So I'm just adding the dots, and now I'm going in and we're going to kind of shape out our flowers a little bit. So I took some red and I'm going in with the orange, and I'm just drawing the petals. So the way you want to do this is sort of just outline the shape that you have, and then go in and draw maybe 2 semicircles in the middle and one, 2 kind of on the outside and 1 in the middle. And as you can see, they're sort of shaped out now. And I'm going in with a lighter pink, and I'm just adding the details to these sort of lighter pinkish flowers that I have going on. And as you can see, again, no real precision. I'm just sort of adding 3 little lines to it. They're almost like the shape of a little like crow's feet. And I'm just going in and adding those to each of the flowers that I painted. And then I'm adding a little center to them with some purple, and I'm just, again, kind of placing those the way I want. You can change up the colors, like I said. And now I'm going in for the purple ones, and I'm just adding some light purple, and I'm just adding in some rough sort of scribbles onto those. And for the blue, I just went in with a darker blue since I used a lighter blue. And again, I'm just using my paintbrush and putting lines, finer lines into them. For the blue, I pretty much did exactly what I did for the flower part. I just went in with a darker blue and did the same thing. For the yellow, I thought they'd look really nice with some black centers. So I'm going in and just adding those in. And now I've mixed up some lighter green, so I'm highlighting some of the green foliage in the background since it's sort of got lost with all the flowers on top. So just go in with some light green and sort of add some detailing to what you already have kind of placed back there. So I'm just highlighting and going over some of the leaves that I have and just adding some to the top of the painting and highlighting some of the stems that I have already placed back there. Just as you can see, it really brings it out and highlights what's already back there. You can just mix a lighter green with the green that you have with a white, and it'll make this beautiful light green color. Now the very last part is you're just going to add some highlights with some white. So don't get very much on your brush. You can use a smaller brush at this point. And I'm just going in, and you just want to add little dots or little semicircles around the flowers with some white. Don't do them on all of the flowers because that might get too much, but you just want to do them on some of the flowers. So for this one, I just kind of went in and added 3 dots onto the smaller pink flowers, and I did sort of semicircles on the purple flowers. I'm going to go in and just sort of do fine detailing on the blue. It's very minimal. White can look really harsh if you don't do it properly. So just don't get very much on your brush is kind of always what I do first. Start with a small amount, and then you can always add more. And then I'm going in with the yellow flowers, and I'm just adding a little bit of light kind of yellow. It's almost white, but it just has a tinge of yellow to it. And I'm just adding to the petals that are already there. I'm just overlapping it with a lighter color so that they stand out a bit more. And I decided I want some yellow in the orange and red flowers to bring them out. So I'm just going in and following already the pattern I have for them, and I'm just putting some yellow kind of over top and in and around it. Yeah, just to give it a little bit of life and some shape. And I'm done. So that's the painting. Now I just need to sign my initials on the bottom. I do my initials, but you can do your whole signature. But don't forget to sign your painting because that's a really important part of it. And this is the finished product. So I hope you enjoyed doing this with me, and I hope you had a lot of fun. Thanks for stopping by, and have a beautiful day.